Hey, welcome back, Rankers. Did you have a good weekend? We had a long weekend here, hence the show is out one day earlier. It was our Queen's birthday. Yeah, we got a Queen. Anyway, enough about that. I want to talk to you today a little bit more about speed because I have been wading through so much DNS. You wouldn't believe how much DNS I've been wading through. We're in the process of decommissioning a whole bunch of old VPSs, old servers that, well, I set up back in 2006, something like that. So over that time, you know, you buy your domain names, you add your domain names, you set up sites, you do all these things. You set up DNS, you set up email, you set up all of this stuff, right? Well, a lot of that's now gone to the cloud and I don't need to run those things. So I've been in the process of consolidating a lot of domains and getting rid of things and setting things up properly. And part of that process has been moving my DNS. I've been saying I'm going to be doing it for ages. I've done it myself for the last 10 years or so, which is not optimum, let me tell you that. So we've spoken about DNS and hosting and stuff before. I want you to, here's a couple of things you can try at home without getting yourself into too much trouble. So for most people who own a domain name, you're going to have access to your registrar where you register that domain name. That's pretty much the main thing that you will need to be able to do this, all right? Now, you can just go and do a whois lookup. Now you can do it if you're on a Mac, you can do it on terminal, or you can just go and say any of the online ones, which are all free. Say who.is, and just do a lookup of your domain. Now at the moment, I'm just going to do Melbourne IT because, well, I'll show you why in a second. MelbourneIT.com.au, who recently purchased an SEO company. They used to do a lot of SEO. Don't know if they still do. I guess they're going to be doing it in the future. Now, their DNS records, and the reason I'm using them is they're one of Australia's oldest DNS providers, right? So you can see here it says melbourneit.com.au, and we've got a couple of name servers. So what you're looking for is these two, where it says name server. That's what you're looking at, and that will be your name server. Now, what I've done, and I looked at a couple of different options to move our DNS. The two main options that came up were Amazon, and that was Route 53, and that was recommended by Gary and John, thank you very much. And then Cloudflare, which seems to be pretty much the default standard. So the way I was looking at it is that I looked at the Amazon, but the interface, and look, I have trouble with Amazon interface, and I know they're really big and they're really good at what they do, but the UX just drives my head insane. So I tried using that and I couldn't, it wasn't easy, and I need this to be easy because I need other people in here to be able to take it over and not just me doing it and all those sorts of things. So I decided on Cloudflare. If you're a coder or a programmer, you may want to go and have a look at Amazon Route 53 for this sort of thing because there seems to be a whole lot more options if you're doing those sorts of things. But for the most of us, Cloudflare is going to be pretty much all you really need. So I can see here, I can see the name servers. I would then log into my registrar. And what you're going to do, you're going to change those name servers, and you're going to do that by going to Cloudflare and just setting up a quick account, just saying add a site, and it's all free, and it's just a wizard that steps you through it. You go back into your registrar, you give the two new name servers that Cloudflare gives you, you swap those from, so basically you swap those from, I'll show you, from the ones that your registrar has. So your registrar will have your two name servers. So Cloudflare will give you two different name servers. You just pop those in there, click save, and you are done. It's that easy. And the great thing about it, and I did ours last week, and really easy to do, and this was the result. So we run Pingdom, if you don't run some sort of uptime monitoring, you really should. You really, really should, because we find a lot of sites. We had one last week again where we're running Pingdom on it, and it had 1,100 outages according to Pingdom within a 30-day period. That's a lot, okay? It represented, I think, about being off air for about a whole day for that month. Ridiculous, right? The client came back to us and said, no, that's wrong. That Pingdom report is wrong, and I can tell you why it's wrong. And that's because I can look at all our speed graphs and look how fast our site is and blah, blah, blah. Speed, speed, speed. When we looked into what Pingdom was reporting, it was reporting a whole bunch of server errors, 503 errors. So internal server errors, which on the face of it, he couldn't see because the page looked normal. But underneath, the header response going out to the world was a 503. And if Google finds a 503, it's not going to want to send its users there because the server's broken. Anyway, that's just an aside. Have a look at that graph there. That is me switching on Pingdom here. So you can see we're going from, according to Pingdom, for where it's pinging it basically takes an average. And it says the average response time before I switched to Cloudflare was about 1.3 seconds. After I switched to Cloudflare, 634 milliseconds, and then I've optioned it up a little bit, and you can see here we're down at 500, and let's do a refresh on that and see where we are today. But it's such an easy interface to use, and one of the things that I love about it is that you get to see the results straight away. And the results for me for this was that probably within 48 hours, we had jumped, it was about 20 spots for a very competitive key phrase. And as you know, we've been going through changes in our domain names, and so we've been out of the search rankings for a little while. And so things are coming back normally as they would anyway. However, this was just a jump out of the box, and it just went kabang. Okay, so if I go and have a look at, I'm just covering this up for the moment so you can't see all our clients. Let me show you what it is now. I'm going to do one other thing. So, okay, so this is our last 7 days for Strong Media. So you can see here, it's a little bit up and down now, but we're a long way from where we were, right? So we're a third of the speed of what we were, and we've seen a 20 spot increase for a couple of really competitive phrases. So with Cloudflare, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you can do. You know, when you go and do your page speed insights test and it says, oh, you need to minify your JavaScript, and you need to minify that CSS, and you need to minify that. Well, you can do it all here with the click of a button. I've never done this before. We're going to do it live. It's going to be fun. I could break everything. I've already backed up. I backed up yesterday, so that's okay. Oh, I've got to log in again. How annoyance. All right, I'm going to log in again. Okay, here we go. JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I've done it like I just don't care. There's no other buttons to press. That's it, that's the only buttons. How good's that? So then, I can go back to Pingdom, and I can say, see if we can refresh this last 24 hours. Oh, 7 days. Come on. I don't know what the result of this is going to be, but I'm hoping to get another little bump because I've done that. Incidentally, if you do a web page test on our site, we've basically got all the green boxes. We're getting 86 now, 87 out of 100 in page speed insights. I really wouldn't worry about trying to get that higher. A lot of people get hung up about page speed insights where they say, oh, we're only in the 80s. If you can get the thing green, that's good enough. Let's not forget that it's impossible for you to get 100 if you're using, say, Google Fonts, because Google complains that you're not caching their fonts. So you can't do that, right? Google has to do that. So the page speed insights tool is actually flawed. So don't get too hung up on it. But if you can get it up in the green, you're doing well. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.